and Disability Services.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. It's my great pleasure as a strong Liberal woman to rise and speak on this debate, followed by a wonderful Minister for Women and soon to be heard by the member for Boothby, another wonderful Liberal woman in this parliament. And there's one way to keep Liberal women in this parliament, and that's to vote Liberal. That's to vote Liberal at the next federal election. So I call on all my constituents in Corangamite for a strong Liberal woman to vote Liberal at the next federal election. And it is quite ironic, the member for Hotham, who I have a lot of respect for personally, but it is quite ironic that she hasn't mentioned the member for Lindsay in her contribution. And where is the member for Canberra? I mean, no. Have we heard from the member for Canberra over what she has endured over her terrible pre-selection loss, where she has been absolutely savaged?
She was kicked out by the men.
Kicked out, absolutely savaged, and it is absolutely appalling what we are seeing, and the great hypocrisy. But what is the most hypocritical part of this whole debate, Mr Deputy Speaker, is the $10.7 billion tax slug, which hurts women more than men because of Labor's retiree tax. $10.7 billion, hitting some pensioners and self-funded retirees. And do you know, Mr Deputy Speaker, how much this is impacting Australians around this nation? Almost 900,000 Australians will be worse off as a result of this terrible, terrible policy. And women actually are impacted around 30% more than men. So if Labor cared about women in retirement, it would reverse this dreadful, dreadful policy, which is the most inequitable policy for women. Women and men who relied on these franking credits for their saving, hitting those who earn the least, who relied on this for their futures, and this has been absolutely ripped away by the Labor Party. And they know it, Mr Deputy Speaker. $10.7 billion. It is savage and it is a disgrace. Mr Deputy Speaker, we are incredibly proud of our achievements as a government for women. Look what we are doing. Looming at 17% under Labor, the gender pay gap now has been reduced to 14.5%. We've got more work to go, but this is a record low. Economic security for women is clearly a critical priority for us, and more than 1 million jobs have been created since the government's election in 2013, the majority of which have been taken up by women. Women are now employed at record levels. Mr Deputy Speaker, the other very significant change that we have introduced, of course, is our childcare changes, which are encouraging greater workforce participation for both women and men who are parents by improving access to childcare, by investing an additional $2.5 billion in childcare assistance. And of course we have a real proud record of introducing tangible measures to help women save for their retirement, including the low-income superannuation tax offset, which benefits around 1.9 million women by over 500 million, levelling the playing field by scrapping restrictions on who can make personal deductible contributions, and of course the catch-up concessional contributions, which will benefit 230,000 Australians, including those women who with interrupted work patterns or irregular income, including other cohorts such as farmers and carers. And, Mr Deputy Speaker, a shame on Labor for opposing those measures. Shame on Labor for opposing those measures. And now, of course, the government has very proudly introduced a comprehensive Protecting Your Super package, which will stop the rorts and rip-offs in the superannuation sector, providing significant benefits to the financial security of millions of Australian women. And I say shame on Labor for opposing this package. We've heard the details for shame, and it is shameful. It is shameful that that package has been opposed by Labor, leaving many, many thousands of women worse off. And we've heard from the Minister for Women how important this is, and I would urge those opposite to pass this package in the Senate. Thank you very much, Mr.